Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to All India Sri Shivaji Memorial Society's Institute of Information Technology. I am Riyaz Jamadar from Department of Information Technology. I am here to discuss data structure and algorithms, and in that one we will discuss about queue data structure. Queue is a very important data structure because it is used in most of the applications. It can be used for system side programs also, like in operating system we make use of queue for implementing scheduling algorithms, CPU scheduling algorithms. And you are already familiar in our day-to-day life also, we come across so many kinds of queues. Say if you are going for designing a shopping a website for shopping mall, for payments you need to have a queue data structure. In a bank, if you are performing some transactions, so people may come in queue, so for that also you may need to design a queue data structure. So how a queue can be designed and what are its characteristics, we should know. That's why I have chosen this topic for you guys. So let's first define how in data structure queue is defined. Queue is a linear data structure, means it moves in the linear fashion. So when from one node to the other node you are moving, there is no any ambiguity. So if it is there is more than one path, then we say it is a non-linear data structure, like tree, graph. So there one node, from one node if you want to go to the other node, there are two ways. So two different ways, three different ways. So that is a non-linear. But in queue it is not so. So it is a linear fashion. You can traverse, you can move in linear fashion. That's why it's a linear data structure. So in scenarios where you need to have first in first out kind of retrieval, you need to design a queue data structure. I have already mentioned the scenarios where you need such kind of thing. So one of the common use of queue is in CPU scheduling algorithms. Here we put the process in queue which has come first, we serve that process. CPU will be given its time for that process. So how we can implement it? But before we implement, we should know some aspects of it. Queue could be implemented using arrays and linked representation as well. You can use an array, you can use link. Both the notations, both the ways I have shown here. So this is a array based. When you use an array, what you need to use two more pointers like rear and front. They will point, rear through rear end we insert items, through front end we remove items. So it means what, one of the important characteristic of queue is that it has two ends. Through one end we perform insertion, through the other end we perform deletion. So when we add an item to when we add an element to queue, we call it as an insert operation. When we remove or serve, that operation is a delete we call. So whenever you implement queue data structure, it is always for a proper working of the queue, you must check for overflow. Is the queue is overflowing? If it is actually, if you implement with array normally, if you implement with linked representation, hardly you come across this overflow, because when the system memory is full, that time only you will get an overflow. This sort of thing it will be. So it is always good practice. There also you can use overflow. If you allocate memory dynamically and if the return pointer is null, that time you can say it is overflowing or memory full. Memory is not available, like that. Underflow, if there is nothing in the queue, you can say empty or underflow. So looking at the rear and front, you can design overflow and underflow conditions. So when you start, rear is -1, front is -1, and you can say the queue is empty. When in an array implementation, linear queue, what happens here, the queue will be full when the rear reaches to size -1. So this is, say we have a size of 5 elements, that time when rear reaches to 4, the queue is full, further we cannot accommodate. So through rear end or through rear variable pointer we add items, through front we keep removing. So when an item is added, that time first we make a room by incrementing rear, and when we remove an item, what we do, we advance the front to the next location. It means the item is removed. This is what we do with array implementation. But when we use a linked list for it, linked list is what, you keep adding a node at the front through front. Like say this is you have created a linked list, this is a front and this is a read. Whenever you want to add a node, or whenever you want to insert a node, if you do it at the rear end, that is what it is coming in the queue. Through rear end you will be adding a node, through front end you will be removing. So whenever you want to remove, you will remove from front, and whenever you want to add a node, you will add at the rear end. So this is how adding a node at the rear end, removing a node from the front end in a linked list will make it behave like a queue. That is the point you are supposed to understand here. Whenever you make use of dynamic representation, dynamic linked list you want for queue, what you can say, you have to perform adding a node at the rear end and deleting a node from the front end. So that will make the linked list behave like a queue. So we don't need to do any extra thing here, only just you have addition through rear, deletion through front, so the list will behave like a queue. So this is what for you guys in this session. So if you like it, please share with your friends and like it. Thanks for watching. Thank you once again.